Hey everyone. Sorry, I'm just fixing my camera. I had the wrong camera on here. So I'm hoping that I didn't lose everybody. I had a few people that were there messaging me, and it was showing here that I was trying to go on, but my wrong camera was showing, so I couldn't seem to get on here. Um, so I'm just trying to get sorted. And sorry, I had meetings and I had to eat something before we get started. Yeah, we're here. Haley. There's a couple of you that's probably jumping on as well. So I grabbed some food and I just shoved it in there, and I just grabbed some pineapple juice. Hey, Anne. So do you feel it? Do you feel the shift? So what happened? We have Mercury just came out of retrograde. We have Saturn who just came out of retrograde. And I just launched a new book again. So I just launched a new book. And for all of you, I'm putting in a plug. I'm sorry. Oh, you dreamt about him last night. That's so cool. So for all of you who don't know, I have a new book that I just launched online, and you'll see it down below. And what it is for all of you who are asking, is it a karmic? Is it my twin flame? Is this going to be my life partner? How do I know? Well, first of all, I decided to write a book that puts all of that information together so that you will know, is this a karmic lesson? And it's got journaling. Each chapter has journaling questions. I have appendixes. I have all sorts of, and that's why I call it a workbook. I'm also just in the middle of uploading it. So for those who want to have the paperback version, you will be able to get it on Amazon later on today. And so I just am a few little innocent touches. I wanted to wait till Mercury retrograde finished just to go and finish a few. So for some of you, hello, Anne. So for some of you, hello, Carol. For some of you who are just joining me, who don't really know, I write a bunch of books, and I have quite a few that's in my store. I just started the store. I have another website where I sell my store, but I'm just converting into a new one. And so this is not really about plug-in and pop, selling. But because of the fact that this is a question that I've seen a lot of you, I wish I had this book when I was spending money, needing to know, needing to find out, needing to have validation, needing to know I wasn't crazy, that I wasn't losing my mind, that I was, and I was just like, I never had the resources. And I bought all of these books, and I was just trying to figure it out. And I'm a coach, and I was doing this for a very long time, and I was still getting so confused. And it's just like, I just needed to know what this was all about, and figure it out, and get out of that obsession and everything. So I found a way to get my own answers and to help others, because as I'm doing readings and coaching people, I have to go into this quite often with people. So I have it in a book, and anybody can have access to it. So you can download it, have access to it, or if you want your own paper copy, you'll be able to get it on Amazon later on today. But thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, all of you, for your support, your friendships, your support, and everybody who has been on this journey with me. I have been a twin flame coach for about 18 years. And for some of you, you didn't even know about twin flames back then. I was talking twin flames, so nobody knew what twin flames were. And so I'm 58 years old, and I started this when I turned 40, and I was just going through a lot of change in my life. And so for all of you, um, where's the tools? How do you know? How do you figure this out? And for some of you who may be fine, you just want to know how to manifest or how to go and 30 years older than me was. And so, yeah, exactly. So, what is it that I know? I have devoted my whole life path to healing trauma wounds, healing inner child, helping others to become sovereign, helping people to become um, in ability to feel trusting and feel abundant and to feel, because you know what? I wasn't feeling it myself, right? And I just want it to belong. I just want it to fit in. I just want it to feel, I just want it to be not um, seeing everybody else winning. And I'm just like sitting on the sidelines, sitting on the bench, and wasn't participating as much. But meanwhile, everybody tells me later I seemed like I was participating, but I just didn't feel like I was included. I felt separated. So this is all what those wounds do. So for those who don't know, I wrote a book about those wounds. And if you don't want to spend any money, you don't have to. I have all sorts of videos and meditations, and I'll add them into the link, and you can watch them and listen to them and understand what I mean. There is healing. I do past life regression, and we go into past life regression. Where I do it is not to go and find out you're like a king in a past life, but to go in to find out where you're repeating those same patterns in your soul in order to resolve those wounds. Our soul only wants us to expand into fullness and completeness and joy and love and happiness. And so it's just important for all of us to understand when we're in pain and when we're in suffering, that is not our soul wanting us to do. Our soul wants to thrive, to do more than survive. It wants us to feel free. It wants us to feel bliss. It wants us to feel that excitement, that oneness. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Carol. You have been a blessing to me too. So Lee, I love that you're journaling. I love that you're journaling. I'm all about affirmations and journaling. I love that you're doing that. If I remember correctly, Lee, you're a reader too. So you're probably really and tapped in and tuned in and turned on into what your intuition says. And because I felt that last time when I read you. And so for all of you, I am here to share. Grab your coffee, grab your cup of tea, grab your beverage, whatever it is. I have my little Barbie mug. Oh, can't see it. I have my little Barbie mug with my pineapple juice. It helps ground me when it's too cold to go outside barefoot in grass and yes. Um, so, and that's the thing. Right. Everybody get your stuff. And we're just going to hang out here and have a little exchange. We're going to have, and you basically can't message me unless you're subscribed. So I don't even have to remind you. For all of you who don't know, I do have a small membership that I'm going to be starting in some way. And so we'll have regularly a little bit more time that we get to spend and have our sessions through our membership. And that would be great too for those who want to be part of that. And for those who just want to, jump around and check out and see what's going on. I will try my best to throw out a few readings here and there for everybody who wants to join me. But I am going to save some of the really good readings for a membership. So just giving you FY. I do have new month beginning, so I will be doing the month, all the signs. What I might be doing is I find doing all 12 signs with such an in-depth read, it's a little sometimes hard to do all in 1, 2 days. So I may break it down where I'm going to do certain signs each week and then throughout the month, and then just do a quick check-in for each sign. So I'll do that later on today too. So who wants to get the first check-in and seeing how this Saturn, Mercury, soon Neptune, going back into direct motion is going to affect you? And I see your hand is up. So you're going to get to start this little show. So there are blessings out there. I know Jupiter is in retrograde right now, but Jupiter will be going forward motion. I see a lot of resistance that for those who are looking for abundance, Jupiter, and there is a other couple of things that's on your chart that would do that. So anybody who wants to little check in on the read, please don't hesitate. But I will admit to you, it's hard for me to do my readings and pay attention to what's going on in the chat. So I will try to call out and shout out and say, hey, hey, hey. But at the same time, if you tell me your question, I'm not going to always get there. I do ask one request because it's come up quite often in the past. Please don't put in like 3 different questions for a read. My head gets involved and I can't really tap in and do a reading that way because, obviously it's just, it's not really, you're not going to get a response from me that is going to be so authentic. Like I would rather the openness of what is going to flow through to. But if you want to ask a question, you can go ahead. But if it's 3 or 4, then reach out to me privately for something in detail. Even though I sometimes get really deep in these reads. All right. And let's start with you. Yeah, I know, right? You never know what's coming through. So before we get started, my question would be that what does he want to say when we reconnect together? Oh, yeah. We did a read last night, but you know what? If it's not a whole great bunch of you right now, and we'll see how it is. I just had it's like 4 of you that is right now in my chat, so it's okay. It's okay. All right. So we have I have Carol here. I have Anne. I have Lee. Who's the 4th person? I'm not on my phone, so my phone will bring in a whole bunch of other people, but I just wanted to kind of keep this. So we have Lee, we have Anne, we have Carol. Is there another person? Because I see somebody else up there. Oh, it's Dawn! And Dawn. Oh, thank you, Lee. Yeah, right? We could talk shop. Yeah, we have Dawn. We have Dawn. Carol could probably be a moderator. It's just that I haven't had Carol needing. So I have Dawn and Carol are regular. We're in a different membership. And so let me see here. All right. Ah, this is good. This is good for you, Anne. This is good for you, Anne. Oh, Anne. All right. All right. Let's get started, Anne. All right. Oh, you live in New York. Oh, that's all cool. That's all right, Lee. Um, someday, you never know. We can always cross each other's path. All right. So, Anne, let's get back to you. So, Anne, I pulled a bunch of cards with a start before I go deeper into this reading. And so I started off asking about Anne. And Anne's energy is telling me she's trying not to be codependent. She's trying hard to not be holding on so tightly to this negative energy. She is starting to release the codependency, the attachment that has been keeping her obsessed. And so she is like, I'm not sure if I'm doing what is the result of this. So I'm asking help for this. And so I asked her, what is Saturn now that it's going direct doing for her? And look what I'm seeing here. Saturn is bringing in a partnership. Woohoo. So I see Anne, the energy that is happening is that she is not sure if there's a new opportunity for her. She's like, I don't want to know a new one. I just want to kind of regurgitate what I've already had before. And so I just want to know that it's not over. And so she is personally just wants to be happy with something that hasn't really had finished, but she hasn't been really opened up her energy towards a masculine that wasn't really opened up to her. So he has been closed off. He hasn't been doing any forward movement towards her. And she is trying to be love and open, but really basically she had to get sorted out her happiness. Now, right now, she doesn't feel and I'm saying talking to you about your third party, but you don't feel really successful right now. You're like, yeah, I don't know. You're probably telling me all of this, but at the same time, I don't feel like I've achieved my success right now. I'm not feeling recognized. In fact, I need that validation. I need that validation to come through. I need to feel that that love, because it's teamwork and it doesn't work one-sided. That you want to be recognized because you will recognize them, so you just want that recognition here for you. And so right now there is resistance to that recognition because of the fact that there is a resistance, that is a love block between you and your person. And you're like, well, what is that love block? Because I feel like it's interfering with us. And if you can figure out how to release that love block between us, I will be glad, because then I know it's not over. Well, this is not over. And it's not over because Saturn is part of this love block. Saturn actually going forward is actually going to now start going direct. Mercury now going into direct. There has been a timing issue. And so because of the timing issue, it looks like what is to happen now will start going forward movement. So let's go into further energy here. Are you resonating with that so far? All right. So yes. Lots of water. All right. So, Anne, I'm showing here that I'm showing here that you're receiving a blessing and a gift. And that gift is going to come through some communication that was surprising to you, that you weren't expecting. Something is going to come towards you that you were not really expecting to happen or be said, or something that's going to happen. I don't know what it is yet, but it is a secret. Something that you were not aware of. And so the secret was something that you might have known. It's something that you might have known, but it was more internal, right? So, this is about you getting in your manifesting mode. So, if you truly want that opportunity for love to show up for you, you actually have to get into that position of knowing that is already happening, that is already aligning, and you're just going to need to get into that manifesting mode of knowing it will happen. You see, right now, as long as you are holding too tightly to that energy, that is not going to happen. And so what we have to do is understanding manifesting is about releasing. And so I'm going to share with you. So you see this plant here with all of these yellow flowers, all right? So this was brought to me by a client last week. And so twice this has happened to me when I'm teaching a client face to face, and I'm doing this thing where I'm showing them how to manifest, and I start with little things. And so I'm, going through the process, and I'm teaching them how to manifest, and I'm saying, and we visualize yellow assortment of yellow flowers in your hand, and you're feeling it, and I'm going all through the motions. And so our nervous system and how it's regulating, it's going to allow you to, feel the sensory and feel that as if it's already happened. And then because through that process, you release it to the universe, you just let it go. And you don't think about it, you don't hold on to it, you just release it and let it go. And so what happens is twice I did this experiment. So I go and do this with a client, and that later that week, my other client shows up unexpectedly. And if you know my whole place is white, right? My whole place is all decorated with white with a little teal. And so what happens is she shows up and she says, "Oh, I really wanted to give you some orchids, but the only choice I had was all of these different yellow flowers." And I thought to myself, oh, that's my fault. That's my fault, because that's what I called in, right? Isn't that funny? So what's happening is you need to get into that flow of manifesting mode where you're not holding on to the results, and that you're properly visualizing it, seeing it, feeling the sensory of it all done, not through pain, and just having fun with it. And then just putting your order into the universe and letting it go. And just knowing, like a boomerang, it's going to come back to you. Do you see what I mean? So you got to learn to let go. Learn to let go. Again, I'm going to repeat it again. That's your lesson for Saturn. Learn to let go and be okay with whatever comes back to you. See, the hardest part is not thinking about my situation. It's getting a lot better. Yeah. Again, your situation, what situation? Boom, it's gone. No situation. There is no situation. You're thriving. You're fine. Everything is great. You're having time that is aligned for yourself, for you to have your own relationship with yourself, because that's the more important relationship right now. And so as you are in alignment with yourself, and being in dating yourself and loving yourself. And you can just put it out there, and you can just, like I said, hold it in your hand, where you are holding someone's hand, and that hand is gentle and it's soft and it's sweet and it's beautiful, and it's valuing you, and it's appreciating you, and it's loving you. And you think of all of those things that you want, and script it down, write it all down. You write it how you are receiving this love. Look in the mirror. Tell yourself you love yourself. Tell yourself that you're gorgeous. You need to get in that vibration. And as you are doing that work and getting into that vibration and allowing yourself to really feel it, the universe just plays along with it. And that's all it is. Because I did not go looking for the yellow flowers. It just happened. It just happened, like everything that I do lately falls into place perfectly. And it's not that I am controlling and micromanaging it. It's just like I put it out there, I say what I want, and then I just see how it turns out, like a boomerang. Don't add time to the mixture, because when you understand quantum physics and understand dimensions, and time in itself is an illusion that we can get stuck in. And so what that means is, when we say divine timing has a lot to do with all right, so when you look at planetary action, we're all under the same influence. The planets are the same for every single one of us. And even though the planets are the same for every single one of us, we all have our own birth chart, and we all have our own progressed chart. And so your own evolution of who you are is based on where you were born and where you have progressed, and what has to be happening based on where those planets are. No one is better than another, but we have all evolved based on our own planetary components. Like, there is more than just us. It's so much more than what we even think it is, right? So when we say, oh, there's no love there, we all have a seventh house, right? We all have different restrictions, and we all have different responsibilities, and we all have different communication styles, and we all have different attachments. And we all have different ways that we are all healing and learning. So when you look at all those planets, but your person, the person that you're choosing to be your person, is your choice. It's your choice. And you know why? Because the person doesn't choose you, then don't choose them. What you have to do is choose yourself. What will make you happy right now? And if you're like, I just want to have somebody who love me, hug me, and cuddle me. Well, you know what? You could go and probably find 20 people who would love to hug you and cuddle you and just love you. But you're like, no, I don't feel the pull to that. I don't feel attracted to it. And so that is have a lot to do with our manifestations, right? And so, those are your blocks, those are different components, but different people can help trigger your wounds, and some different people are going to trigger those abundance. And so it's just like, look for somebody that's compatible to triggering your good things, as opposed to triggering your bad things. All right, now, is that meaning that the person is or is not your twin flame or your soulmate or your karmic partner? No, we're not even going into that. We can go into that in different readings, and we can go into that in different things. But you know what? That means you need healing, and that really comes back to you. It has nothing to do with the other person. So let's go into this a little further, shall we? All right. And so, Anne, you don't feel emotionally the inner happiness. You don't feel that alignment. And you don't feel that inner alignment yet. You don't feel that emotional balance yet. You don't feel that give and take, the reciprocal love, because you are in a challenge of one-sided love. This is about self. This is what the cards are showing me. So this is telling me, there is a block in your inner happiness. There's a block in you coming true to yourself. And it's because in the past, I'm seeing here that it wasn't teamwork here. It wasn't give and take. It wasn't being reciprocal. And because it's showing the overall energy is about balance of, love and satisfaction and that flow. There was no, oh, Lee, we're still on Anne. We're still on it. And so for all of you, take whatever you can. So there was not that flow. And so I'm showing here that your subconscious was in a defense mode. It was constantly reciting some kind of conflict that you had that had nothing to do with that person, but was something internalized. And so what you've been doing is you feel defeated, you feel collapsed, you feel abandonment issues that's coming up. And so um what's blocking you is your person. Your person is resisting you, is blocking you because you don't see how beautifully abundant and how this has been a gift for you. So your person is not head over heels and love and pleading and begging, because the fact is it has a lot to do with your own healing. So you're like, well, I'm not getting all of that validation. And they're saying, don't seek the validation from him. Seek the validation for yourself. Seek the gifts as if you can create them. Be dating yourself. Hey, Bodhi, we are. I hope everybody is too. I hope everybody is too. Because what I'm seeing here is you have to overcompensate your subconscious wounds. Your subconscious wounds is what is coming up through here. And so how do you look at that? Well, you can look at do you regulate with them there or not? Well, this is why we manifest these types of connections, is for us to heal the parts of us that manifest these types of connections in the first place. So for example, this is how I'm going to say this. And if you did not have wounds, when the relationship part, you'll be like, yeah, see ya, and moving on. And just going on to somebody else. And everybody would be like, oh my God, that was so fast. Like how she just moved on. Like it didn't mean anything to her because she had no attachment, no wounds to be healing. It was just like, yeah, I'm done and on. And so the wound, the lesson, those are all parts of you that are within you. When you're pulled to somebody, that's because there's a contract. And once that contract is resolved, the pull's gone. It's like, okay, I'm done. And that's just naturally how it's done. And so you are still pulled towards this person. And once you resolve that contract inside yourself, whatever it is, you'll be like, oh, yeah, no, I'm done. They sometimes don't even know, you're just like stuck in that for so long that when they come back, you'll be like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. And you don't even know it. So it's depending on what created it in the first place. All right. Who is the next person? I know it was Carol and Lee, and Dawn was the fourth person. Who is my queen? Who is my queen? Carol. I think Carol was before Lee. Because when I asked that question, it just seemed like the queen came out. And I was like, oh, yeah, my girl. That'd be you, Carol. Yeah. I hope I hope. Oh, I shake my desk when I touch it, so I'm trying my best not to shake it. It's just like I have, it's not the stablest little table. All I say is this: I love that I'm part of this journey with you. And if I can take away the pain and the suffering and allow you to feel good again, my part is done. But I hope that when we receive that lesson, that you can feel love in your heart and not pain. That's all it is. That would be cool. Yes, I am seeing for you. You are being recognized for. All right. So I got some news for you. It's coming through. So we're going to get started here. All right. So you're being recognized for your success. You're recognized for your work, and you're recognized for all the work that you've been putting into yourself. You have achieved an awful lot. However, in the past, you have also been, going through cycles and changes that you could not get out of. It's part of your completion, of your soul's evolution. It's part of your growth. And so, you've achieved everything, and your soul is like pushing you for more. And so, what's happened is you're a hard worker and you're a hard learner. And so, things are about you and responsibility. And so, that's Saturn. Saturn is about responsibility. Saturn is about karma, but it's not about a karmic now. It's just like Saturn is like making sure that you don't go and cheat yourself and that you get what you've worked hard for. And so right now, you are really good at the fact of whether your twin flame is in your life or not. You're like, I'm okay. I don't need to have the mirror for me to be self learning. I know that I'm worthy and I'm loved, and I know how to manifest, and I know what's going on in my life. But right now, that ideal partnership is being blocked. And so, right now, in that ideal partnership, that connection, that flow is not there. I don't know why it's blocked, but there is a love block here. And it's saying, like, I'm not seeing expansion, I'm not seeing the growth. And so, that is why. Because that growth is not supposed to be part of the work. The growth is becoming a part of you saying that you want more. You deserve more. You've earned more. You want more. You have expectations that you should receive more. And that's what they're saying. Yeah. You know what? You already did the work. And so who you were when you started, you've accomplished it. And that person was great for who you were, but now you are more. You are bigger. You are a queen energy now. And because you are queen energy, they're like, I'm not going to send a joker for you. I'm not going to send a prince. I want to send a king. And so that's the thing, is what's going on is, this guy, he didn't want to give you a home. He didn't want to give you a marriage. He didn't want to give you that confidence. He just wanted to give you some long distance romance, and it was just going to break your heart. And so this is the thing. This is about a legal contract that needs to be happening between you and your person. And so this is where this reading is taking you to. So let's get nosy and see what Saturn is bringing in for you. I find when I do this on my computer, I don't have as many people in the chat. It's not so overwhelming. It may be a whole bunch of people watching, but right now I can go into it and we're not overwhelmed. And when I do it at my phone, it just gets a little crazy. So that's why I'm able to do a little bit. I'm treating you like you're all my little special members. Oh, this one came out, so we'll take that. We'll take that and see what that's all about. So Saturn, now that it's going direct, and Mercury too, what do these show for you? All right. So I have here. All right. So I am showing here that with Saturn going direct, Mercury going direct, you're going to have emotional satisfaction. You're going to have stability in your heart and your soul. You have inner happiness. You have fulfillment. You have a blessing that is here for you. I am showing here that there is expansion, and it's expansion that begun long ago, and it's going to start to show up. And that expansion is not because of a new opportunity. In fact, you don't want any more new opportunities. It's like tying up loose ends, clearing up all of the debris, because you've been stuck. You've been sacrificed and stuck for a long time. In fact, there was a blockage in your solar plexus, and there was a blockage that was coming through here, and it was interfering with how your energy flowed. It was just seems like you were going through trial and errors and constant energy of you needing to experience pain over and over and over again for you to let go. It's like you were holding on to a hot potato and you didn't catch on to let go of the hot potato. And every time the hot potato was burning your hands, and you're like, oh my God, this hurts so much. Why is this hurt so much? And we're like saying, let go, right? So what it's showing here is that what you were blocked was a man that was a provider, that was emotionally, physically, and mentally stable. This person was confident, absolutely confident in the energy, and you did not have that. And why is because there was a conflict that was coming up between you two. And you know what? That conflict is not about you, because you are a determined, courageous woman who deserves to have joy and is deserving to have a secure relationship, and to see that she is a divine feminine that is beautiful, sexy, and in receiving mode. And so this is saying that this energy is about you had your heart closed off. You were protecting your own self because you know he wasn't ready. You know that he was supposed to be love to you, but he wasn't showing up for you. And it was like you were a queen and he was just, actually, I didn't even see these. And this is exactly what is showing up in here. And so it's showing here that Saturn showed you that healing, there was more healing that had to be done. And the healing that had to be done was about the negativity, the lack of ability of seeing that you felt hopeless. You felt hopeless all the time. And that Mercury going direct is about you having these new feelings in the spirituality and in your wisdom and in your truth, is that, oh, I just feel like I'm aligned, and this is really what it's all about. And if somebody is going to come along and distract you from that, you will kick them out. It's just like you are blocking anything that's not aligning with you. And so when you see that, you're the one who's actually in charge of this, right? So that's what's coming through for you. Sorry, I just get so passionate when I get into my readings. You know what? Some of you may not even resonate with this, but it's just like it comes through, and I just have no say in any of it. I don't even check in with you guys. I just, all right. So, Carol, I hope that wasn't so overwhelming for you. Lee, you are next. Carol, did that make sense to you? You have something coming, And I don't know if it's him. I don't know if it's him or a new person. But I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a lot more. Because you raise your standards, you raise your energy, you raise your vibration. And now it's like you're not lowering your standards for nobody. Your turn now. Yeah, last night I was pretty wiped out. I had worked on that book for like 10 hours straight. I was wiped. Yeah, let's see. Let's see what Saturn and Mercury is coming up from you. Do you want to know what's going on now or coming up? All right. So Lee, what is Mercury retrograde? Let's word it differently. Lee, what does Saturn going direct mean to you? And Mercury going retrograde for you. Going forward now for you. And okay. Yeah, you have a choice here. I'm showing a choice. Coming up between us, please, what is he going to say? I have Aries, Saturn, a few placement in retrograde. Okay, so definitely, I'll tell you what's coming through here. All right. I'm seeing that you're suffering from some heartbreak. There is a little bit of grieving or some disappointment. Definitely some disappointment that is in your energy field right now. And it's kind of like a little bit of a dark cloud over your head. And so this dark cloud over your head is because in the recent past, there was a conflict that nobody wanted to talk about. There was something that was going on between you and another person, and nobody wanted to talk about it. And it just seemed like it was, I'm grieving regrets. I'm honestly releasing. Yeah, well, there was maybe something that wasn't talked about. It was something that wasn't resolved. It was something that just never really was confronted. I don't know if the person just kind of left and didn't talk about why, but it just seems like something wasn't resolved. It doesn't matter if it was conflict or not, it just never got resolved. And so I am showing here subconsciously what was hidden was the fact that someone here didn't feel secure. Somebody felt unworthy. They felt unloved. They felt undesired. Actually, that's the word it's coming through, undesirable. I don't know if somebody was insecure here about their body image, about their beauty, but they did not feel as secure sexually or courageously or attractive enough in some way. And it was in a subconscious projection. All right. And so that had a lot to do with you being aware of victim mentality and trying to overcompensate for it. And because of the overcompensating of victim mentality, it's kind of like you're, and I'm just going to say this, you're spiritually bypassing. And so what's happening is you're going from, this is making me feel sad. So in just regards to like what I had just said regarding the last reading, instead of accepting that you're feeling this pain and transmuting the pain into satisfaction, into something more higher vibrating, it's kind of like you went from this pain and then just kind of like went into a state of denial, or went into a state of this is not happening, or in a state of limerence, or in a state of it's a maybe even a trauma response where you're just like, this is painful, so I'm just gonna make it something else. So there is a spiritual bypassing where you went from um, in the middle of accepting you're a laser. I'm not sure what you're saying. In the middle of accepting right now, you're a laser. I'm not sure what that means, but so there is something here that you are working on regarding shadow work. And so this has a lot to do with your wounds. And so instead of bypassing it, you're trying to, yeah. So you're trying to start really work through those wounds. Now, what is blocking you is that you take on other people's responsibilities. And so you have to understand that those burdens and those responsibilities are not yours to deal with. And you also can't project your responsibilities and burdens onto another. So if somebody is stressing you out, you may not even be aware of it, but what's blocking you is that you're overcompensating for everybody else. So when somebody else is not dealing with their childhood wounds or their responsibility or their pain, you're overcompensating for theirs. And so what is happening is, because of your intuition, because of your abilities, you can feel their pain. And so you're going to like walk on eggshells, and you're going to go and mold yourself to make other people feel good. And this is why this is blocking you, because you're not allowing yourself to be, oh, like you're not allowing yourself to be compassionate to yourself and say, hey, you've had shit happen to you too. Like you're just not allowing yourself to to have somebody to say, hey, it's going to be okay. Why do you have to be the one? Because it's showing here, you're the one, the nurturer. You're the one who's always the nurturer. You're the one who's always needing to make everybody feel safe. You're the one who's always needing to make everybody feel fulfilled. And you're like always taking everybody from start to finish, where you are the mother in all of this. And there's something to do with mother energy. This is here, right? Because this is a wound, a mother wound that is coming through, where you're overcompensating, you're overstepping. You don't want to disappoint. You don't want to be a disappointment. There is a wound here that you are overcompensating. And as long as you don't go and really look at where this is coming from, you can't seem to grow. And so, yes, you're like, I don't really have a choice. I really don't know what I want. And really, it has a lot to do with who is going to serve you best so that you can be happy. Because what I'm showing here is that what is Saturn and Mercury going forward motion going to have for you? So you have here Saturn going forward is going to actually show you where this person that you're focusing so much may not show up in the way. There may be a shift in how he's showing up, and that he's gonna not be the romance and the playfulness that you really wanted. But Mercury is going to make things, you know, turn out to be joyful and success for you. There is going to be a lot of happiness and a fulfillment. There is going to be a lot of positivity that is going to be coming through for you. But yes, it's really important for you to see that, you know, this connection is not fated. In fact, you may see that Saturn is going to put some resistance on this person that you may be having a mind to. So you had mentioned there was a possibility of two different people. Let's look at that. Let's look at that. So funny. This falls out of my deck. This represents duality, right? You got the right one and the wrong one. And so this one is saying, oh, yeah, you got a choice. You got a choice. One of them is good for you, and one of them is not going to be so good for you. And one of them might be just mirroring a wound. And one of them is about alignment. Yeah, it wasn't fated. I seen that. It wasn't fated. But you do have here, is there two people? You got the Chariot came out. All right. So so here I got two cards representing the two different people. You've got one being the Hermit and one the Star. So one you actually hoped for, one that you really wanted, and the other one is really about you finding out about your own mirror, right? The own inner guidance, the own. So one looks like it's going to be one's not going to go anywhere, and one is going to go. And look at this. So when I asked about the Hermit, it's not going to go anywhere. When I asked about your wish, and you're getting this, right? You're getting this. Yeah. So the one that you want, the one that you're hoping for, the one that you really want your dream come true is going to be lots coming through there. But the other person is a karmic mirror. Definitely. One is going to, yeah, it just keeps on going. So this one is coming up. It's going to give you inner strength, inner empowerment, lots of confidence. And the other one, nope. So one is a good one for you. One is not good for you. Yeah. One is about healing pain. So I don't know what you mean by your ex. I'm just looking at what's coming up for you. You have a choice between two people. One is going to be good for you, and one is going to just lead you down a hall of mirrors because it was help you release the pain. So I think it's really important for you to understand that you have a mirror and you have an abundance. So Jupiter is in January. Jupiter is probably, let me see, I can look at the time frame. I think January, February, you're going to have somebody who's going to bring you abundance. And then you've got Saturn. So you got Saturn and Jupiter here. Yeah, there is somebody who is going to be I'm seeing here a fire sign, masculine energy here. It looks like a Leo, Sagittarius. Definitely you've got the Page of Wands. And the Page of Wands has a lot to do with new beginning. So this is somebody new. And it's not somebody that you're holding tight onto at all. In fact, it might be somebody that you're going to meet through your network or your friends. And yeah, this guy, he's got a head on his shoulders. Totally, you're going to fall head over heels over him. And he's not going to be somebody that is going to be long distance or anything like that. You're going to, he's not even going to be karmic. Not going to be karmic. Not going to be about lessons. So when you listen, you had mentioned something about getting the book. There is a whole section in there that when you see the lessons resolved and connect those dots, it just seems like you're in alignment to receive. This is kind of the energy. It's like you're wrapping up old karma energy and you're going to align yourself with your person. Yeah, you have right now a karmic duty because of some growth and expansion, but there is, I'm seeing here, you can't have the commitment until you learn how to let go of an energy that no longer serves you. There is an energy here no longer serves you that's interfering with your security, your abundance, your Jupiter. And it's blocking your full emotional fulfillment. And that's where the conflict is coming through for your relationship. Yeah. It's inherent gifts that is going to help you receive. It's your inherent gifts that's going to help you receive. So that's your messages. All right. We got one more. Where is Dawn? Dawn. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And anything is possible. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. But I'm just going to put a plug out there. If you really still need some validation and say, oh, what is this relationship? Get my book. It's going to help you out. Because that book, it's just, if you had limerence and you had all those it's going to tell you whether or not this is something real or not. I have it really broken down. All right. Dawn. Oh, look at all of this heavy earth energy. Dawn. Oh, Dawn. Look at the energy overall. All right. So, Dawn, what's going on here? The overall energy is the Lovers. All right. So, shows here Dawn is working so hard. Raise your standards. And you're like, where's your person? Well, your person is because you've raised your standards. You no longer let somebody just come into your life who's just like a mild fling. You really want it all. And you know you deserve it all. And so what's happening here is in the past, You released codependency. You learned what your attachment is all about, and you did the work. You're working really hard here. I'm showing you working really hard in this wonderful grounded energy. And you release addictions, you release attachments, you released anything that was no longer serving you any good. And anything excessive, you're like, yeah, I'm good, right? So you were like, what's going on here? Well, subconsciously, you're tapping into your divine feminine, you're tapping into your inner intuition, and you're listening to your inner voice. You opened up your heart and you started aligning with it. Good for you. It's showing here. And so, what am I good at? I'm good at knowing impulsively what I want. I know that I can have movement. I'm just, you know what? I need it to be ready. And you just like, okay, I'm ready. I know it's going to happen. I'm prepared. But what's blocking you is your you're not sure what it is, but there is a disconnection in you, and you're not sure what it is. It's kind of like, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to feel. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to feel like when they show up. If I feel pulled, maybe it's karmic. Maybe I'm not supposed to feel anything at all. I'm a little confused what I'm supposed to feel. And so that's the thing. They're saying is keep going in the direction where you feel oneness. You just feel whole. Don't worry about the duality in that pulling dynamic of duality. Don't worry about two different directions pulling you. In fact, that is about attachment. Be in fullness, in oneness, in your fulfillment of yourself, because opportunities is not coming because of a new venture. You are creating yourself. You are creating who you are. And so, because this is the thing, if it's showing the Lover's card upside down, but you don't want to deal with the trials and tribulations of conflict that goes on in a relationship. You don't want to deal with, surprises and things. You like the fact that know who you are, you know what you want, you know what you want to do on a daily basis. And so that's the thing. You want somebody who's going to show up and give you a proper relationship, a commitment, and be happiness. You don't want to take on anybody else's burdens. You don't want that, because you know you deserve a king, because you are a queen. And that's all it is. It's really simple. Really simple. And so, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and mentally, you feel that you have done enough work. That's all you want. And so that's what it is. You're becoming in alignment with yourself, and you are looking for somebody. If I can do it, somebody else can. And if I can go and find myself in peaceful and happiness and do all of that, then it's not like it should be not high standards for somebody to do the same thing. But that's the thing. Everybody is walking around in these trauma cycles of trying to recover from somebody else. And you're like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. I don't have somebody I'm trying to get over. I don't have somebody that I'm trying to let go. I don't have somebody that I'm longing for. I don't have somebody that I'm trying to seek some kind of resolution. I am just ready to manifest my relationship that is going to be adding to me, because if it doesn't, I'm good. I'm good. And that's what this is saying. I'm good. So let's see what Saturn and Mercury is bringing to you. All right. So I see here that Saturn is saying, oh, yeah, you're not done. There's more work for you, more work to be done. And so it's always, you're never going to be done. There's always going to be work. But Mercury says, but be confident because the inner work has created a courage inside of you, a determination inside of you you've never had before. You are ready to move ahead with hard working effort that has created an inner beauty inside of you that you are ready. And that is why you feel so disconnected because you're not feeling the karmic pull to heal. You're just feeling like, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. And that's it. And if nobody else is going, like it's kind of like I don't want somebody that doesn't want me. I'm good. If it's aligned with me, it is. And if it isn't, it isn't. It's just like I'm good. Yeah, you're good. You're good. All right. So I think that is all of you. And I will be on later on today. I'll go and do all the signs, but it won't be an in-depth read. I'll just go and do a quickie. And for all of you, the message I have for all of you is to nurture yourself, self-care, self-love. Be love to yourself. When you get up in the morning or when you are having a moment to yourself, don't forget to take a moment and nurture and love yourself. It is important for you to understand that where love goes, love will flow. And if you choose to put all of your energy and attention into yourself, this will manifest in very many ways. So this is the root of where we manifest. This is Venus. And Venus is always going to say, how do you aesthetically please yourself? Whether, don't look at are you good enough? Don't look at competing yourself with another because everybody is an own version. Okay, so think about this when you like I don't have any makeup on, but there's never a day you're going to see me without actual lipstick on, and it's because it's that 24-hour permanent stuff. And so, like I always wear this lipstick, but I have no makeup on, right? And so what happens is if I don't go and wash my face, it's like not a negative thing. It's not a thing where like but it's important for me to give energy to someone else. I have to find a way to put energy back in me. So like before we started, I had my meditation group and then I had to eat, I had a meeting and I have all these other things. So before anything else, it is important that we nurture ourselves. How are you going to nurture yourself? So be sure to take a few minutes to be love to yourself, whether it's self-care, it's whether lighting a candle, whether it's breathing right, whether it's meditation for 15 minutes. Just, or maybe it's just about how you're feeding yourself today. What are you going to do so that you are a better person than you were before? And that doesn't always mean about physically. It is about how you're passionate, how you feel passionate about yourself. So your Venus is how you love, how you desire, how you feel. And if you don't feel that for yourself, then it's going to be really hard to track that in your energy field. So be Venus to yourself, be nurturing, be wonderfully. Like if Venus is like, for me, Venus is in my Libra. in my 11th house. So Venus being in Libra means that I tend to be aesthetically like things to be a certain way and look a certain way, and I'm in the beauty field, right? And so, for some of you, you may be having Venus in a different sign where you will find aesthetics is meaning a different thing. So we're not always going to have the same meaning of what aesthetics or Venus is going to mean. So that self-care is based on your needs. And whether that is dancing and playing or singing a song and looking in the mirror and telling yourself that you're beautiful, or feeding yourself beautiful smoothies, or just allowing yourself the comforts and the pleasures of a satin sheets, or being able to be pleased in some way. How are you feeling safe and nurtured and loved? Do that for yourself, because that's the message that is coming through for me to share with all of you. All right, so I will leave you with all of that. Until next time, I'm going to let you go. And thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. Thank you. I don't know if the chat's going to be showing up, because I don't know if I clicked that button to let the chat to stay. But I loved every single message that all of you had shared with me today. The messages were flowing. The energy was flowing. The readings were flowing. Everything was flowing. I loved every single bit of this with you. And thank you, because my world is a better place because I spread my energy to share with you, which means that my life has been even better because of the engagement I have with you. So I'm going to go and let you go and continue onward. And I hope that if you have any questions, you have a chance, you can reach out. And, for those who are interested in these cards that I do, you can download your own version. Just check it out down below. And I will see you in the next show. Bye.